All right, let's debunk this silly claim that Elon Musk and Trump have been spreading about the millions and millions of dead people or people over the age of 100 getting payments from Social Security. Turns out it's not really true. Shocker. So, the new head of the Social Security Administration said Wednesday that deceased centenarians are not necessarily receiving benefits, contradicting claims that tens of millions of dead people over the age of 100 are getting payments from the agency. Lee Dudick, the new acting SSA commissioner who was placed in the role by Donald Trump, gave the clarification after Trump and billionaire advisor Elon Musk falsely claimed on social media and in press briefings that people who are 100, 200, and even 300 years old are improperly and routinely getting benefits. While it is true that improper payments have been made, including some to dead people, the numbers thrown out by Musk and Trump are overstated and misrepresent Social Security data. Here's the facts. What has the Trump administration said about payments to centenarians? Am I pronouncing that right? Centenarians. Why do I have to say that? It's such a weird word. I don't like it. I'm stupid. On Tuesday, Trump said at a press briefing in Florida that we have millions and millions of people over 100 years old receiving Social Security benefits. They're obviously fraudulent or incompetent, Trump said. If you take all those millions of people off Social Security, all of a sudden we have a very powerful Social Security with people that are 80 and 70 and 90, but not 200 years old, he said. He also said that there's one person in the system listed as 360 years old. He reported the false claims while speaking at a Miami conference of international investors and billionaires. That's kind of, why the fuck is he there? It's because he's a billionaire and he only cares. His friends are the rich and the wealthy. Look at who was front row in his inauguration. This dude does not care about the working class. This dude is best friends with the corporations and companies that pay you garbage wages, that artificially raise prices on all your goods. Wake up. They are this dude's best friend, literally. All right. Musk, whose Department of Government Efficiency is seeking to root out fraud, waste, and abuse, issued a slew of posts on his social media platform X on Monday night, including, maybe Twilight is real and there are a lot of vampires collecting Social Security. Having tens of millions of people marked in Social Security as alive when they are definitely dead is a huge problem. Obviously, some of these people would have been alive before America existed as a country. Think about that for a second. So are tens of millions of people over 100 years old receiving benefits? No. Part of the confusion comes from Social Security's software system based on COBOL programming language, which has a lack of data type. This means that some entries with missing or incomplete birth dates will default to a reference point of more than 150 years ago. The news organization Wired first reported on the use of COBOL programming language at the Social Security Administration. Additionally, a series of reports from the Social Security Administration's Inspector General, March 2023 and July 2024, state that the agency has not established a new system to properly annotate death information in its database, which included roughly 18.9 million Social Security numbers of people born in 1920 or earlier, but were not marked as deceased. This does not mean, however, that these individuals were receiving benefits. The agency decided not to update the database because of the cost to do so, which would run an upward of 9 million. Yeah, so because of this saving money thing, they can't upgrade the software to fix this. And it's crazy that this is just like a weird software thing, and our tech support, Elon Musk, our big tech guy, fucking 180 IQ or whatever, can't figure that out. I bet he does know. He knows, but he's a liar, and he will say anything to get his agenda pushed through. And it's crazy that, like, this is what's wrong. This 9 million figure, this is what is wrong with our country. $9 million is like, it's not even worth, in terms of scale of our government and how much money we have, that's like not even like a quarter of a penny in terms of the scale of our government. And we can't do that. This is why we are so lacking around the world in infrastructure and everything. It's crazy because something costs 9 million and we're like, whoa, that's way too much. Meanwhile, our budget's like 1.2 or, in the trillions. Insane. A July 2023 Social Security OIG report states that almost none of the number holders discussed in the report currently receive SSA payments, and as of September 2015, the agency automatically stops payments to people who are older than 115. What does the acting Social Security Commissioner say about that? Dudek, who was named acting chief of the Social Security Administration after the resignation of Michelle King, issued a news release on Wednesday reiterating the agency's commitment to transparency. The last lines of the note acknowledging recent reporting about people older than 100 receiving benefits from the agency. He seemed to confirm that confusion has arisen because of the default settings in the database. The reported data are people in our records with a Social Security number who do not have a date of death associated with the record. These individuals are not necessarily receiving benefits. I'm confident that with Doge's help and the commitment of our executive team and workforce, that Social Security will continue to deliver to the American people. Yeah. It's like if you check 98% of the claims that Musk, Doge, Trump are making about this waste, fraud, and abuse they're finding, it's absolute nonsense. It's just lies. At best, it's a extreme 500-mile stretch of the truth, at best. And, it always goes back to, what, bro? Democrats are against finding waste, fraud, and abuse, bro. Why are you guys against that? I'm not against that. I'm not. I just want someone who's doing it who's not being investigated by the agencies he's auditing, not taking security contracts from the agencies he's auditing. It's conflict of interest everywhere. This was the whole point of having inspectors generals. Like, that was their job, and Trump fired them all. It was their job to look for this kind of fraud. And it turns out there's not as much fraud as these idiots will make you believe. Yeah, there's some, and they do this for everything. They will take that few cases and amplify it to they will turn it up to 100 and make everyone think that it's this huge big deal, that it's happening rampant. It's everywhere. It's the reason why everything is so shit. No, it's not. There's so little, and you can do the research on this from anything they've claimed, or just do general research on waste, fraud, abuse in the government. It's nowhere near as much as they claim. And what they're finding and what they're cutting isn't waste, fraud, and abuse 98% of the time. It's just stuff they disagree with. And as I was saying, that's their playbook. Find something small, blow it up to something big. Let's look at Lake and Riley and all that. Take one case. When there's go look at the total amount of homicides that illegal immigrants commit per year. If you listen to Trump, you would think it's in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions. Okay? It's not. Obviously that's terrible. But, there's so many people getting murdered every day by just normal Americans. This crime problem, this homicide problem is not an immigrant problem. All right? We've already been over the data. They commit less crime, but they will take the instances where they do commit crime and amplify it. Same with trans women in women's sports. There's only 20 cases, 20 transgender athletes in the NCAA in the entire country. And they blew it up into this huge political argument like it was happening everywhere. It's what they do. Wake up. Yeah, they'll find one instance where it's yeah, that's stupid. And they'll blow it up and act like it's a fucking epidemic. How big of a problem is Social Security fraud? A July 2024 report from Social Security Inspector General states that from fiscal years 2015 through 2022, the agency paid out $8.6 trillion of benefits, including $71.8 billion, or less than 1%, in improper payments. So through 7 years, $71.8 billion, which is less than 1%. And if you think that any entity operating as large as our government or any government isn't going to have stuff like this that appears from time to time, then you're the pie in the sky guy, all right? So yeah, and like I was saying, less than 1%, and they blow that up to make you think it's like 50, 60%. I'd like to see a survey on what people think it is without doing the research, just based on what they're claiming. In addition, in early January, the U.S. Treasury clawed back more than $31 million in a variety of federal payments, not just Social Security payments, that improperly went to dead people. A recovery that former Treasury official David Librick said that just the tip of the iceberg. The money was reclaimed as a part of a 5-month pilot program after Congress gave the Department of Treasury temporary access to the Social Security Administration's full death master file for 3 years as a part of the Omnibus Appropriations Bill in 2021. The SSA maintains that most complete federal database of individuals who have died, and the file contains more than 142 million records, which go back to 1899, according to the Treasury. Treasury estimated in January that it would recover more than 215 million during its 3-year access period, which runs from December 2023 and 2026. So yeah, it ain't that much. It ain't that much. What are some of the concerns about misinformation on Social Security payments? Chuck Blouse, a senior research strategist at the Mercatus Center of George Mason University, said 2 cheers for Elon Musk if he can root out and put a stop to improper payments. But to pick the places in the federal government where the error rates are high, Social Security would be near the bottom of the list, not near the top. Blouse said Medicaid improper payment rates are quite substantial and soared after Medicaid expansion of the ACA. By all means, go after any improper payments that are found, but let's not pretend that that's where the system's biggest financial problems are. Like I was saying, take small instances and blow it up. If you want to start with finding waste, fraud, and abuse, look at the Pentagon. They failed like how many of their last audits? Like everyone in the last at least decade. They can't account for like over 60% of where their money goes. Yeah, start with them. Why are you saving them? Why haven't you gone after them? I'm tired of hearing this talk about going after them, but no one goes after them. And in the House bill, I'm pretty sure like another increase to the Pentagon, to the defense budget is in there, like another $100 billion increase, or some increase, not a decrease. Stop listening to what these people say. Look at what they do. The real concern is that this claim may mislead people into thinking there's an easy fix to Social Security's financial problems, that we can somehow restore solvency without making sacrifices through higher taxes or lower benefits. This is simply not true. What does the White House say about the criticism? Caroline Leavitt, the White House spokesperson, referred back to the Social Security's Inspector General report. Previous investigation revealed that SSA paid at least $71.8 billion in improper payments, she said. The Social Security Administration is now working to find even more waste, fraud, and abuse in the administration's whole government effort to protect taxpayers. Yeah, they're just going to keep saying that $71.8 billion number, even though that was over 7 years and accounts for less than 1% of all payments that went out. Nope. That's all they're going to laser focus on. And people are going to be like, wow, that's a really big number, and not taking it into effect the period it's over, the percentage it makes up of total payments. Less than 1%, that's a pretty damn good rate for actual fraud. Like, I'm sure a lot of entities would want less than 1% in like waste. So stop listening to what they say. Look at what they do. I can't. I'm going to lose my mind. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.